Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about one of the things I wish people understood about both migraines and IIH. And that is, once a flare-up or migraine has started, there's not much that you can do to stop it. So before I get into any more details, time for the intro. I have decided to move upstairs briefly into a different filming location until I get my new ring light, because that video was terrible for lighting, the last one. Until I get my new ring light, I'm going to be in the spot, which hopefully will only be for a couple of videos before I get to go back downstairs. But the good news is that I have this other microphone I can use, so that is always a good thing. Now, because this is natural lighting, you'll probably see that the lighting fades in and out occasionally. I want to talk today about how when a migraine has started for me, that there's not much I can do to stop it. So what I mean by this is it just has to run its course. You'll also see me looking down because I have my book right here. I do have medication that I can take for when my migraines get really bad. I just use over-the-counter medication. The most important thing I want to emphasize about this medication is that with me, it'll basically dull the pain, but it won't get rid of it entirely. What's important to understand about these medications is it doesn't stop the progression of migraines, but it will tend to make them a little bit easier to handle, so it might dull the pain a little bit. Unlike when you have a headache and you take something like ibuprofen, it's not going to get rid of your headache. Migraines and headaches, although they're both have headache pain, migraines and headaches are two totally different things. And many people don't realize that, I don't think. The fact that migraines are not able to be stopped is extremely frustrating to experience as somebody who has migraines, because once you start to recognize the phases, you kind of know where your migraine's going to head next, and having no ability to actually stop this progression is extremely frustrating. Number one, you know you're going to be unable to do things unless you really honestly push through them. Sometimes that's not a good thing. If you're trying to do something, or if you have something coming up and you start experiencing these symptoms, it's extremely frustrating because there's nothing that you can do to stop the progression of symptoms. People mean well when they give us suggestions with migraines to try. They're honestly trying to help, or at least that's what I want to believe in. Unfortunately, we've probably tried the suggestion that you're giving to us. We know you do mean well, but honestly, it's just better if you stop suggesting. Likely, if we've been dealing with migraines for quite a while, that we've tried everything to try and make them easier to live with. I can't imagine somebody living with something like migraines and not trying everything that you can think of, even during your first couple of migraines, because migraines are extremely painful, and when you get them, you just want it to be over. You want to get through that period of time, because you're basically not only unable to do anything, but you're in a lot of pain at that time, and the migraine at that point is interfering with everything that you're trying to do. Another important thing with migraines to consider is that Migraine symptoms often occur over days, not hours. So very often I will have a period of several days where I'm experiencing symptoms of a migraine. Now, it could be the same migraine. The different phases can occur on different days. So, for example, you could be experiencing basically the first phase, which is you're about to start the migraine, and then the next day actually experience the migraine, and then the following day after that experience the postdrome phase, which is the period of time in which you've gotten through the migraine, but then there's a period of what I call severe fatigue that sets in, that you basically still aren't able to do anything because you just got over a migraine. Now, I find that I've had some migraines that don't last as long and others that have gone over those several days. I don't really know sometimes whether it's the same migraine or a different migraine, because it seems like once you've gotten into that cycle of migraines, that the postdrome and then the pre-symptomatic can sometimes match up and you're actually going into another migraine. Now, this is because, though, that I have chronic migraine, and there's a definition for chronic migraine that is the reason why I've had to do the preventative treatments like what I have. Most of the medications that doctors will work with you with are actually for migraine prevention, and up until just recently, there really wasn't a specific migraine prevention. That changed with the anti-CGRP receptor monoclonal antibody medications that are out there, and that's what I use for migraine prevention, is those anti-CGRP medications. They're extremely expensive. It does involve an injection, but it's only once a month, so I actually find them a lot more convenient than most medications, even though it's an injection. Now, even when you do these migraine preventions, it's not 100%. So sometimes you'll still get migraines. Two of my biggest triggers actually are completely out of my control. So the periods and barometric pressure or changes or weather triggers are two triggers that are completely out of my control. So there's just not really anything that I can do about these particular things. It's just about knowing, oh, there's going to be a change in weather. Maybe I shouldn't plan anything that day. Or, oh, I'm expecting my period these days out of this month. I probably shouldn't have much of anything going on those days just in case I'm not feeling good. The thing is, though, when it comes to periods, I get migraines in the premenstrual phase as well. So the first few days before I actually start bleeding, I'm experiencing migraines. And then during the actual period, too, I can experience migraines. Now, this occurs for me up until about day 3 or day 4. On average, when these migraines occur, they just basically have to run its course. Now, when it comes to migraines and letting them run its course, obviously the most important thing is just having support from those around us. So when you understand that basically these are out of our control and there's not much we can do once we actually have a migraine, then it just allows us to have better understanding, better relationships, because we know that you know that we're not bailing on you, that we're not trying to get out of work or school, that we're honestly doing everything we can to try and function. But unfortunately, there's just sometimes that we just have to let these migraines run its course. If you're enjoying my content, please feel free to subscribe. When you subscribe, you actually help me reach more people with IIH and migraines. And you also help us raise more awareness for IIH and migraines at the same time. If you enjoyed this particular video, be sure to give it a like. Also, when you hit that subscription button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming future content. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow. And as for now, that's it for today. Bye everyone.